like when you think it.
I thought about you always in the shower. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the GHB Spotlight here on JLJ Media. I went lost for a second. What is this? Who's running this network? It's me, JLJ Media, running this network. I am James Lott Jr. It's been one of those days and weeks. I'm here with my work husband, Frank Moran. Frank.
Wow.
Oh, you guys. As you guys pile in, let me tell you, pile in. As you guys come in, I don't know why I say pile in. As you guys come, there's plenty of room. As you guys come in, I want you to know that we did the Wine Army Spotlight. That is out. It was special guest Candace Mack.
Ooh.
Filling in for Tammy Govea.
Look at that.
Yes.
Titan for a Titan.
We did. So that's out now, audio and video. That's out now. Also, I did a beautiful mini spotlight from my bed. So check that out also. That's out now too, Frank. And also
a little pillow talk for
Frank's intrigued. And then also, I've interviewed all my extra connections with Susan Banks, not the character from Days of Our Lives, the actual multi-hyphenate, powerful woman in Hollywood and soaps. She's a writer on Young and the Restless, but she also helped start up TV One. So we talk about her illustrious career, and it's a great conversation. And that's on my Extra Connection show. So thanks to everybody who's watching that now. It's a great interview, and she has a lot to say about marketing and all kinds. It's a great conversation. So I did that too, Frank.
Look at that. And James, I mean, I feel like the biggest thing everybody was most excited about last week was the Late Night with James Lott Jr. show. How did you enjoy doing that?
Well, I have one more night to do. Because I couldn't do it last night. It is tough, Frank. I am an early bird now. I get up in the mornings. I work from morning to afternoon to early evening. 10 o'clock comes around, Frank. I'm like, so I've had to take naps. I've had to slap myself, water my face. But it felt good. It did feel good, and it felt like the old days a little bit. It reminded me of the pandemic, and when I was coming on there every night, and people were coming through, and old friends were coming through. Tony Moore came on a couple of times. Kaz came on a couple of times. It's harder than I can't do it now, folks. Sorry, I'm just too tired. I got too much going on. But it was fun. But I have one more night to do, and then I'll be done. I promised him 5 nights. I did 4.
Oh, look at a man of his word.
Yes, of my word. But it was fun. But it also shows how far we've come. So that's kind of thing. So I'm like, yeah, back then it was different. I'd have a lot going on. None of us had a lot going on. I slept all kinds of times of the day. I was awake at nighttime. There's a lot of stuff going on back then. But now I'm super busy and I'm tired at night.
Well, I mean, can you do the not so late night show where it's like an 8:30 call?
No, it's somebody says thing you talk about was fun. Thank you. No, the problem is a lot of folks are on at that time. I found the sweet spot was being on late, because there are a lot of folks who are up late with insomnia or whatever else. They're up late, and so that crowd was kind of fun. That was kind of like that's what made it. I was like, well, come on, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, everyone's on. I'm competing with everybody. Come on at 10:30, nobody's on. Very few. So literally is, Talking Frank. That's a good time for it. They said, when's Frank going to do a solo show called Talking Frank? That's a good title, actually.
Nobody would watch.
He said nobody would watch. So there's no show for you. But that's a great title, though, Talking Frank with Frank. But yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I did it. I was saying, but it's a whole new world for me now than it was then.
Well, it's just like, you just got to get your reps in. I know. I'm sure if you did this for another 2 months, the fans would gobble it up and you'd build up your late night stamina.
Frank, I know you're being funny. Obviously, he's joking around. Obviously, don't take him seriously. But there is some truth in there, probably in there, Frank. There probably is some truth in there. You get back into the game. I think I'll bring it back again at some point. Maybe later, maybe during a holiday break is when I'll bring it back.
There you go.
Not working as much. So maybe late in the year, I'll bring it back during the holiday, and I'll just bring it back for like during Christmas time or something. That could be different,
Up
So
to you, it's one of your favorite times of the year. You can wear your Santa hat in bed.
It is. I have some cute Santa shorts. No, I don't know. I mean, it could be some fun. So it was tough. But thanks, folks who came and watched and listened and had a good time with us. But one more night, I believe it's tonight. I'm doing it. Either tonight or tomorrow. Why don't you?
And this is the naked edition.
Where you just rub my belly. So everybody take turns rubbing my belly. That's it.
I mean, I feel like we're all, the fifth night. It's got to be a culmination. It's got to be
the finale.
Yes,
of sorts. No, that will be on my OnlyFans. I'm sorry if I had one of those. Yes. No, this is Instagram. It's all great. Now, Frank, have you joined Threads yet?
I have not. I had this discussion briefly yesterday about like, hey, you should join it. And I'm like, all right.
That's how I feel. I'm not either. I'm like, another one.
Yeah, I rarely post anything online as it is.
Right.
So it's like, do I need to be on another one? Because and not post? So
yeah, that's true. Yes, that's true. I don't know if you guys are on Threads out there, but I know a lot of folks are on. My siblings are on it. Why aren't you on it? I'm like, I haven't decided yet, kids. I have not decided. I mean, I'm on enough of these apps and things already. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was coming up with these alternatives to Twitter, months ago, as things were kind of initially on the meltdown, and then not much has really kind of taken off as an alternative. So I know people are talking about like this is probably the best alternative yet. I'll wait and see. Give me a little bit of time, and we'll see if it has enough, gas to really lift off.
Yeah, there's another spill. There's Spoutable. My brother said he's waiting for this Blue Sky by Jack Dorsey who's becoming. So yeah, who knows, right? I don't know, but I know that because it's Instagram, it made it easier to go over there. But that's a good start. You want to make it easy for people. And I'm like Frank. I'm like, I don't know yet. So everybody's asking me why I'm not on there. I'm just not on there yet. And maybe I will be. I don't know.
They can't get enough. They want James Lott Jr.'s thoughts on all social media networks.
Yeah. And speaking of that, folks, a good segue. Thank you, everyone, for this last week. It's been a very interesting week for the GH world at large online. Hello, everybody. And our show last week, me and Frank sparked something apparently in terms of race talk and everything. And I just want to say out loud, Frank and I have always, since the AfterBuzz TV days, do this every week. Every week we talk about we talk about the show, and we critique it as we feel and tell our honesty when we talk about the show. No subject is off limits. We talk about it, we move on to the next thing. But I'm glad you guys appreciate our our frankness. I appreciate that. And I know because we've done it even when Lucretia was on, and when Ladine was on, and when Carla was on, we've always just talked about it. It's what Frank I said last week. We love the show. We want the show to succeed. We want it to be good, but we also talk about it, right, Frank?
That's true. I mean, what else are we going to do on a Sunday afternoon? If the show did not exist anymore, my Sundays would be much less.
Yes, I don't want to break up with Frank.
Yeah. But it's I felt like that was a great when I came up with the show and cast the four of us originally. There it was not simply just this is exactly what happened over the week, and that's it. I mean, it was nice that you said like, yeah, let's open it up and talk about other stuff, and it's been great to be able to. And that's when the show's kind of continued with that kind of point of view since.
Mm-hmm. Yes, our Shady Sundays. That's right, kids. As we coined that years ago, and we've also. Edition Days is on after us. They have Miranda Wilson, my buddy, who plays Megan Hathaway Demira. So she'll be on there today on that channel. And there's 10th Floor. 10th Floor has had their show. They talked about it a little bit on their show, the whole 10th Floor. They're permeating our chat, Frank.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, because it's like, as James has also said too, it's like, we're not here to criticize actors or anything like that. No, because, everybody, it is a job. They're being paid to perform what is being written for them. So there's no need to criticize anybody for that. But I think it is very fair game to talk about the storylines being written, how they're being written, maybe why in this particular time they're being written. How does it reflect, some of the best soap opera stories can really tie into the, to very topical issues, very issues of the moment. And hopefully they're a way to kind of, share a point of view, or maybe sway others to a different point of view, open up their minds and hearts as well to something. If they see characters that they love going through something that they might not be very much aware of, but they can learn a lot of empathy or knowledge from watching these beloved characters go through it.
Everything Frank says, I completely agree with, and I think that's the thing. And I try to bring people different points of view, and we all have different points of view on this. We all did. All my ex co-hosts and us have always had a different point of view. And that's what we do. And some of you guys agree, some of you guys don't, and that's good too. I think everybody has it, but we all come with our own lens as we see the show. And some folks have watched shows longer. Some of them are newer fans. I see things through a certain way. He sees things through a certain way. But we always discuss on our show. Everything's open game, and also in the chat too. Everything is open game. We talk about it, and that's something I think it's very important for our shows. Like I said, we've been doing that since the very beginning, almost 8 years now. Basically, we've been doing this.
Yeah, and I like any ways that you would want life to happen. Issues outside of this that people of differing points of view can just have a place where they can share them. And help other people understand where they're coming from, and it's not about being argumentative, and it's not about who's right, who's wrong.
Exactly.
But it's about listening to each other, and maybe getting a better understanding of where somebody else is coming from.
Yeah, that's the whole point. We're not here to scream and holler and scream at each other and talk down to each other. We're just here to share something, and here you go. So we're glad you guys are here. We're gonna start I got a lot to say about this weekend. With all that said, let's start with the end. I want to start with the end almost, and then go backwards a little bit. But hello, everybody in the chat room. Thanks for coming in. We're glad you're here with us. I have to mention the shots that got fired out. That was the weirdest transition. It was. How do I say this, Frank? I get they wanted a shock value, I think, of some sort. But to me, it didn't work in terms of direction, execution. It was like everybody's just talking. How do we get Kurt's about to step up to it, and all of a sudden, shots or gun or whatever, and it was like, okay, I frown on Frank. What do you do? I don't know what I'm saying. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was one of those. Holy cow! Here comes like a big Friday twist that you didn't see coming. But yeah, I mean, it is no, Sonny's wife being blown up in a limo.
Right.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's just weird. It just came out of. I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but it just came out of nowhere. Okay, so everybody who was there, we got Sonny and Anna. We have the triangle. We have the quadrangle because Portia, Curtis, Zeke, and Jordan. We had Dante walk in. Who else? Am I missing anybody?
I think that's it, because Tracy and Brooklyn and Chase and they all left already. And Diane, they already are gone.
Okay, so Frank V said to follow the clues. I don't even know what clues. I don't even know what clues they were to follow.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I guess it's because Anna and Sonny were talking about around the Pikeman issue without really getting into any specifics, because of course Sonny can't. As much as Anna was like, "Here, what's going on? Is there anything I need to know?" Sonny's not going to say anything. So
that was awkward. Also, why would Valentine ask Anna to tell Sonny something? Because even Sonny was like, "We don't even talk." I mean, it was kind of like I was with Sonny, like, "Well, why would he want? Like, what are you like?" And I don't know anything. How many times did she say that? I don't know anything. Exactly. I mean, what clues? I saw no clues. So that was an awkward moment too. It's like, I mean, Anna and Sonny are friends. I get that part, but it was kind of like, so Valentine couldn't send Sonny a message on the way out. I mean, like, could give him a hand or like, it was just weird.
Yeah, he doesn't have a satellite phone that he could have just called him in on. It's like, hey, I'm in Russia, but heads up.
I enjoy Jay's hike surprise. It's not that I dislike this. I mean, a good shot, a scene of somebody. I mean, that's fine. And I was just saying, the execution was just so weird to me. Like there was we didn't see like all of a sudden a barrel of a gun or like I don't. It was just like okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like somebody opened up the Quartermain Mansion door at the end of Friday, and then you just see like a pie going into somebody's face.
Right.
But you have no other context or anything else that's going on. It's just somebody had a pie.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Right. As Susan says it, there was absolutely no segue into the gunshot. Exactly, that's what it was. It was just kind of weird. If you want to do something interesting, folks, I'm about to age myself. Come on, Frank, but age myself. The season finale of Twin Peaks. That's how old I am. The whole show's whatever, and at the very end, Kyle MacLachlan's character, who played Agent, his name was on there, and he goes to the door, and you see the gun first. He looks down, you see a gun. Then it goes to black, and he gets shot 3 times. You don't see him. You hear his body drop to the floor. But it's kind of like you opens the door. You saw that it was a shocking moment. You're like, oh, a gun. You don't know who it is, and then I feel like that's
right.
Like I needed something that everybody kind of agrees execution was on. I just feel like I needed something just to give us like, or we didn't see like a kill shot there, or just something that just goes like, oh, something about to happen. It was just like gun or sorry, look out or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I also have zero sense of the geography around the Metro Court, because Dante is given like a really high look.
Yeah, he did.
Or is it a tiny motel? I thought it was kind of tall. I don't know how it's in relation to the other buildings around it. I mean, we've seen when Valentine was going to get Laura supposedly killed, or Victor was going to kill Laura, there was a gunman that was at a higher angle as well. So, I mean, I guess there are other taller buildings around, but it was just weird to see Dante come in and then just be looking up. Like, what's he looking at? What's going on?
Marlon says Dante's talk with Sonny set up something was going to happen. That didn't do nothing more than normal. I like them. They always have a great conversation. They're good fathers, and I always have a great conversation. And yes, I mean, all that stuff to me was just normal.
How good do you think that spaghetti is though at the Metro Court?
It looked nasty, folks. That spaghetti did not look good. Was there any sauce on it? And it was like, Sonny, you own a restaurant. It's all about spaghetti. Why would you eat there? That spaghetti, he was twirling that shit. It's like that did not look good. My compliments not to the chef, because I was like, it didn't look good. And Frank, it didn't look good.
No,
I was like, poor Dominic Soproni had to look at that. He's probably like, I'm like, oh, it was not good at all.
Well, I mean, with Olivia and Nina, like all, have other issues on their mind. Nobody's there to give that quality control in the kitchen that it desperately needs. They made the Michelin star, James.
10 floors. I need a 5 Michelin star person in there. A James Beard winner. I watched enough of those Top Chefs, Frank. I know what's going on. 10 floor Jay says we don't understand it either. Metro Court is a hotel and a restaurant and an office building. It is all those things.
Yeah.
There's a pool on the roof, but it's not the tallest building around. I know it's weird because like, is there a balcony that somebody's, or is there there's another roof too. Is there the other roof? Also, where we saw Finn Peter was trying to get away.
Oh, that was the GH roof.
Oh, wrong roof. Sorry, wrong roof. Either way, I don't know how this shit goes there either. Sonny didn't take a bite. He was done. I know Sonny wasn't eating, but you saw Dante was twirling that. I was like,
that was some sad pasta.
Sad pasta. That's funny. I caught the same thing. I was like, I like better pasta than that. I know I said my compliments to the chef is my complaints to the chef. Exactly. Like, that's right, Andy. I was like, that is not good. Okay. So some of our digest says it's one of these. So Frank, we have a prediction.
Oh.
Which one is it going to be? They say it's going to be either Sonny, Anna, Dante, Portia, Curtis. So, folks, I'm also going to do a poll. I don't know how many. Who gets shots? Who gets shots?
I'm going with either it's got to be Curtis or Portia. I have a feeling because I just don't. I think there's you want Sonny around to be able to react to whatever this is. You got to have that Sonny anger that he's like, oh, you got to find out to get to the bottom of this. You want Dante around because of the police stuff. Jordan's still deputy mayor, so she's got to be around to be kind of high profile. Zeke, he's too new. Who really is going to care if Zeke gets shot? And Anna, I feel like, no, we're not going to have her while she's having this kind of, what am I going to do with my life? And then immediately put her in the hospital out of commission for a while. So I feel like she needs to be around too, to kind of use this as a kind of a way to help kind of direct her to whatever her next phase of her life's going to be.
Frank, I'm actually agree with you. I think it'd be Portia. Because of the whole, that whole, yeah, exactly. I think it'd be Portia.
Yeah.
I think it'd be her. Because she had that big talk with, I guess those clues, she had that big talk with Elizabeth earlier. It was, what's funny? Now it's hitting me, folks. I'm awake. It was a whole talking episode basically on Friday. It sets up people talking.
Yeah.
Basically. Man, the whole chase, all that stuff over there, and then over here. It basically was a talking episode. So I guess those are clues, I guess, folks.
Yeah, because I feel like both Curtis and Portia have been dancing around talking to each other since their last conversation. So I feel like taking one of them out is going to make the other person like, oh, there are so many things that are left unsaid. This person is so important to me. Life is so precious. I've got to tell this person when they wake up how much they mean to me. They can't die. They can't.
They can't die. The 10-4. So a lot of folks are saying, well, in the voting, it's mostly Curtis. Portia second, Anna third, Dante nothing. I didn't put Sonny. I don't think Sonny's getting shot. I think Sonny is in the facility. I don't think it's his turn to get shot. I think it's enough happening to him. But I think it's one of the others. I don't think it's Dante either. I know Anna has a vacation coming up soon. I really think it's the court. It's because the way Dante looked up and Curtis was about to hightail it over there. He was like, he put some pep in his step. He was like, okay, I'm getting these bitches. He went over there. Whatever thing. It's funny when they look over and it was like, oh, I was laughing so hard. And then it was like, So I don't know.
He has no problem getting up in Zeke's face. And tell him to just mind his own business. That's what Curtis seems to love to do.
Exactly. But he was a hightailer. He was like to get the step in, saw them all together. I was like, dang. Yeah, Dante was shot already before too. I agree with you on that one. People are saying Curtis in the Curtis or Portia, basically. I can agree with that. Folks, I can go with one of those two. It makes more sense for their story, I think. Their story is at a stalemate right now.
Yeah, they need I feel like you need some kind of inciting incident to get them, like, no matter how the problems that we're having, they're so close to losing them forever. I have to make sure we fix this because I love them so much.
All I know is if my Curtis gets shot, I have to go on set. I'd already filmed it already. Never mind. I was like, help my Donnell. I'll be a nurse. It's already too late. They already filmed it already. Never mind. They already filmed it. All the soaps are on hiatus right now. Take it.
Yeah, I guess I see it being Curtis more than Portia, only because then Trina gets more involved. It's like, it's a father I never even got to really know.
Yes, there you go. Oh, what if Portia has to, she doesn't operate, but has to tend to Curtis?
That's true. Oh,
you're right. Actually, it'd be better if Curtis. It may be better if Curtis was shot. It'd be better. But Portia would be interesting if she got shot. It would be interesting though. It still brings in Trina.
Yeah,
it brings in Trina, Zeke, Curtis. Well, that whole family comes in there. Liz and all them. It could be. I don't think it's Anna either. I don't think it's Anna. I think Anna's.
No. I think that'd be kind of a not when you've been teasing whoever's spray painting murderer. It's just kids. It's just kids.
That conversation. Oh my God. It was good to see her. It was good to see her and Jordan because they're supposed to be friends.
Yes.
It was good to see them together. But Anna just Anna, when can you ever just slack anything off? We've watched soaps for years. You've been a double agent. It can't be, come on. It's a prank. It's a prank. I'm like, do you really believe that, Anna? After everything you've been through, it's a prank. It's a prank.
Yeah, that's like I'm always laughing off those silly murderer spray paints on my door. Like, oh, those pranksters.
I was like, come on, girl. So yeah, but I don't know. I mean, so we don't. I mean, no. Okay, everybody. Frank, how many emails do you have? They're all asking me. I
Oh
can't
man.
continue talking without people knowing your email counts, folks.
I mean, we don't want to miss this time.
I'm getting in trouble. I got in trouble.
There we go. All right.
235, 590 kids.
So close. We're so close to 236,000. We're so close. So close, everybody.
We're close to something. I don't know what we're close to. There you go. I like how Anna and Jordan talked about how hot Zeke was. It was fun. It was fun. It was fun to see them. It was good to see them together. They're friends. I'm glad he brought their friendship up. I'm glad to get to talk. And so that was a good thing. Just that the Anna part being so naive sounding, like this Anna should know better than that at this point. And come on. So something's gonna happen, clearly. I mean, it's not the shot. I want your shot. But if something's gonna happen, it's gonna be clear, something's gonna happen to her. And I don't know who it is or whatever. It's Erica Kane. Oh, well, no, this week we're going to Pine Valley this week, Frank.
There you go.
Pine Valley. Who is it, kids? I mean, but see. Okay, so that's that storyline. There, somebody got shot. Here we go. If I hear the name Deceptor, I hate that name so much. So for me, I have two things this week that I want to pull my eyes out on: Violet and the Deceptor. Those are two things I could do without for the rest of my life. So let's go to the Deceptor first.
All right.
Because we're they're going to Pine Valley, folks. They're going to Pine Valley. Oh my God, Jeff was like, what if there's an email offer to produce GH in there? That's right. You missed your chance to supervise Gladys's stories.
That's true. Oh, I will be kicking myself to the ends of time. Like, no.
Oh my God, that is so funny. It's like, Frank, we need to come on. We need another Frank to come on to GH.
That's right. Yep.
That's hilarious.
We've been emailing you for months and you haven't responded. We're gonna have to move on. No.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. Oh my God, I like this. That's a good one. 10-4 GH PM. That's good. Anyway, so back to the Deceptor. So I guess where we're at is Tracy now has gone to Diane, which is kind of fun seeing them together. They don't really, they were really, that was fun, wasn't it? That's fun, those two actresses.
For sure. I did enjoy seeing that as well. And, because they're very, they're just very aggressive, take no nonsense women.
Yeah.
So watching a scene of the two of them kind of butting heads, because I feel like, Tracy, that's not somebody that Tracy can kind of just bully or intimidate, to get what she wants. And so, which is really cool.
What was hilarious when Diane goes, as you can see, I have not accepted nor pushed away the check. I was like, that's right, Diane. That check was right in the middle of the table. She goes, as you can see, I have not accepted or pushed away the check. That was just great dialogue. I mean, Carolyn Hennessy and Angel Elliott, we love them both, so that's great. But yeah, so apparently, but I'm trying to figure out. So she thinks they had it first anyway, I guess, or
whoever her partner is. I feel like it's like somehow Martin's got to be tied into this,
right.
Because it's all about Martin not wanting any credit at all. Lucy, don't mention my name in association to this. Maybe Martin accidentally let something else slip from whoever Tracy's silent partner is, or not so silent. Well, I guess we'll find out. And so now they feel like, wait a minute, Martin, you just stole something from us. Now we want it back. So
she talked to him too.
Yeah.
Which is fun, which is also kind of fun. And it's kind of fun when they do move around. I mean, I'm sorry, Jane Elliott just lights up every scene she's in. I mean, it's like because Frank, I realize what it really is. I mean, she's a good actress, number one, but she reminds us of the old guard, I think, for me.
And it's nice to have, because it's like I feel like for General Hospital, you want some of the police, and you want some of the hospital, and you want some of the like the quartermain. You want those big old legacy families in there, and it's like that combination. But if like the quartermains have been such a part of this canvas for so long, they can be great generators for different stuff.
And Amelia, that was another scene I did not need to see. Grandma Felicia, Grandpa, what the fuck his name is, and little James going through the trash. Frank, I was just like, am I really watching this? Am I really watching this? I'm like, yes, I am watching this.
This is how you're entertaining your grandson, is by sorting through trash. There you go. But I mean, that's a hard work of the private eye. It's not glamorous, James. It's not always glamorous. You got to dig through that trash sometimes to get that gold.
But what's also weird is, so Maxie has 3 kids, but 3 people watching them.
Yeah. Yeah. One person only watched 2 of the kids. Will not take the third. So sorry.
Right. I'm like, I would love a Pine Valley reboot. Then I know that Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa have the rights to it. I'd love to have it. I don't think it's going to happen at this point, but I'd love to have it.
Yeah, because it will be great to see Walt Wiley on the show. But all it'll do is, I mean, much like I guess like the One Life to Live stars, is that you're going to get momentarily excited to see them on camera again in the characters that you love, but then you're going to be disappointed that it's over so quickly, and you're going to want more, and there's really going to be no more coming.
I agree with you on that. I'm just sighing because I agree with you on that completely. So, but I mean, we're gonna watch, folks, to see where they go. But so it looks like it's all tied to Martin's ex-wife. So is it the ex? Did he steal from the ex-wife? Is that the problem? And now he's getting paid $3,000 a month. And Tracy's like, does Tracy know something? Like, is she like sniffing around? So I guess this is gonna. I guess they're getting a story finally. So are we happy they're getting a story? Is that the point? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, because if you're gonna, yes, please give me more Martin. Give me more Michael E. Knight for sure. I'm all about that. But I mean, if you start bringing up Pine Valley in relation to Michael E. Knight, I mean, you're only going to be thinking about Tad for sure. But I guess which is a nice nod. But also, secondly, you're just thinking about Erica Kane. I mean, what are the odds we get Susan Lucci coming back for this? For like, is it worth? Nobody's going to be satisfied just with like a 1 or 2 days, are they? I mean, I guess everybody would be thankful, but everybody's going to be like, no, I want more Erica Kane.
Well, I'll say this, Frank: if she came out for 1 day, that would shock people. That would be a shock. I think that get folks talking. You're right; they will talk, but that would be a very interesting. That would be a great guest star moment if they did get her even for 1 day. And that probably we all want more. I agree with you on more, but if they do, I would give them points for that. That'd be a great surprise.
But you know what? It would for me. I would not be satisfied. Don't give me, 4 storylines running through the course of that episode. If you're going to bring on Susan Lucci and bring Erica Kane back, I mean, I want a lot. Make the best use of her. Give me lots of screen time with her. I want to see her with a variety of different people, if possible, and just really getting into the Erica Kane-ness of it all in these scenes.
I love you. 10-4 says they think Marty is Tad's cousin, related through Opal, where she was country.
Ah, that's a good call.
But once again, that requires good writing. 10-4 podcast. That sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't write like that these days, but that'd be wonderful.
Oh man, it's like it's like the Spencers and the Eckerts.
Right. Oh my god. That one did show promise a little bit. It did. But when they had Bill die in Luke's arms, okay, a little too self-indulgent for me. I'm like, and that kitchen's still there. That bakery's still there or somewhere. They kept mentioning once in a while. But Erica and Tracy together, I know we want to the decapitator to James. I hate that name I just hate it so much. I hate a bunch of things, but that is one of the things I hate the most is the scepter. Yeah. They were so dumb to me. Oh, I would never buy a product called the Deceptor. I would never buy it for a face thing or whatever. I would put a Deceptor on me.
It makes you think that you're going to be like a Mission Impossible person,
right?
With a fake mask on, fool your friends into confessing their deepest secrets to somebody they think is a loved one. Use a Deceptor.
Oh, wait a minute. Side note: I didn't know there were like 7 or 8 Mission Impossible movies.
Heck yeah.
I've seen 3 or 4 of them. I know there's more than that. I was like, dang, he's done a lot of them. That's a little side note.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the second one is kind of and the first one is harkens back to the nice kind of TV show kind of stuff. But boy, I tell you, like 3, 4, 5, and 6, great.
Yeah, they're good. I should know they're not many. I was like, I missed a couple. Heard the new one's really good too. So I'll see. Yeah. Maybe side note, which in Mission Impossible. Maybe Frank and James or James and Frank. It's better, but Frank and James. Remember Ted? Tad's Martin's lookalike on AMC. It could be him with no memories. He suffered an incident from before he left. That's funny. Again, you guys are writing some great storylines. I don't have what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think they're going to do that. I wish I could feel that they would do this. I'd wonder. James, you wouldn't buy it from Sasha. Sasha's beautiful. She is. I hate the name. I do. I hate the name. I need Erica Kane with everybody. No, with everyone, just Tracy. I'm good. And he's like, Mr. Martin said, I see it with Erica Kane and Tracy together would be amazing. Would be just really amazing.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're gonna do that, you got to have her around Martin as well because he's
right.
in this. Right. I mean, and then they should just into a nod into the old commercial crossover of days gone by, have Erica run into Sonny in the elevator at the Metro Court.
Sonny, Nico? No, my name is Sonny.
Just because they had that terrible, what if Erica Kane?
Remember that? Yeah, remember that series? It's on YouTube, folks. Thank you, David. Thank you so much. It's on YouTube, folks. Whatever. That's why Carly met Ryan in the elevator. And Luke met Vicky from to live on the elevator. It was very and it was Spinelli and somebody met on it was Spinelli and Todd. They were on a plane. Oh, yeah. So you start on that.
That one was the closest we came to real life. Because at least
you're right. Actually, you're right. Right. That's actually right. That's kind of funny. Yes. Oh, you're right. Actually, you're right. Oh, funny. How weird. Yeah. Right. Anyway. Well, right now it's okay. So we have to do for that. But so we have Tracy is knee deep in this. But what happens is Lucy finds out because of IT issues. Of course, they would know if something's going on. I mean, that's the big company. And then Lucy uses Maxie. And they really get into it about how bad each other one is as a worker. But then of course, homegirl jumps in and says, "No, I did it," so to speak. And she don't tell the whole thing.
Yeah, but also I don't know how you could listen to Brooklyn's excuse and in any way think like that's like above board. Like, oh, I mean, it was stupid, but okay, cool. Like that excuse sounds so phony. You're the one that stole the secrets. What's up? There's no, like, I just wanted to work on a marketing, in private on a flash drive that I took away from this work location.
Yeah. So I agree with that either. But I'm glad she stuck up for Maxie. Was like, no. And now Tracy knows because she wants to tell Tracy. He was like, get that flash drive back. And so this part of the storyline, I'm not liking this part of the storyline. I mean, just character-wise. Because we finally got Brooklyn and Chase together. Do we really need any more obstacles this soon against them? Because he was like, we could tell everyone's saying you don't belong at Deception. Everyone can read all over your face. But I love Deception. It's great. Anyway, no one, it's like, tell Chase. My granny is, I know she calls her granny too, because Granny. I just feel like, tell him, my girl, she is blackmailing me, and it's like, tell him.
Yeah, it's like back when this first happened with the holding out by the Tracy thing, like the secret is so low stakes,
right?
that I think Brooklyn could have told Chase and it would have been fine at the
Yeah,
moment. Chase might have grumbled a little bit, but ultimately he got on the force, and if that helped him get back to the force, fine. It doesn't matter how he got back to the force, as long as it happened and it wasn't some kind of like horrible thing. It was just Tracy pulled some strings. Okay, great, gave you a chance that you wouldn't have had otherwise. The show has built it up into, it's like, oh, this is such a big secret, just to be able to keep the storyline going. It's like, no, Brooklyn, just tell it, say what happened to Chase, please. I beg you.
Yeah, here we go. Here, this includes the other thing that I didn't care for this week. That's Violet.
I will say that I just because it was just nice to see those little bits of sides of Tracy. It's like anytime that Violet and Tracy interacted for a hot second, I was like, okay.
They're cute. They're cute. I'll give you frank. Yeah. And I like the actual group thing was cute too. However,
yes,
how are we having this child dictate story to these adults? I'm like, that's not realistic. Well, you think can Aunt Tracy come and I in Brooklyn's gonna be done. I'm like, and there's Grandpa. I'm like, it's too much. This little girl it's almost too cutesy overload for me. That she's driving story for these grown ass people.
We talked about this too last week. I just still feel it's too soon. Like it's too soon to bring the two of them back together. Like they needed more time apart, being involved in other relationships. And then after those kind of whatever happened with those, then maybe come back and revisit a Finn Elizabeth pairing. It's like there's been no time. I mean, they've not done anything individually, and now we're just trying to kind of force them back together. It's like, I'm not interested in this at all.
I'm not either. Hi, Albert. I am not interested at all in Finn and Liz at all. At all. Can I say it 10 times fast? At all. I just have no interest whatsoever. I feel like, and also the snail's pace they're putting it anyway.
Yeah.
Making it easier. They're making it way faster. And then, but back to the grouping, because I do like the little grouping was fun. Because Tracy was like just out of her element. And again, Frank and I have said this before, if we didn't have that weird ALS thing hanging over our heads, her and Gregory would be wonderful.
Absolutely. For somebody that has been like had Luke Spencer in her life, that was one of the loves of her life. They really fit well together. To see Tracy as she's moved on past Luke, to all of a sudden find herself drawn to this more like goody two shoes type of guy. Like this is like an unexpected thing that even she wasn't thinking that would happen to her. I would love to see that storyline, but knowing that this ALS thing is just in the back pocket and it's going to come out, I mean, knowing that it's going to come out, if they still went the road of putting the two of them together, and then activated that storyline, would it make you feel anything more for Gregory than you currently do about him having ALS?
I just think this, and yes, you can have a storyline and you still fall in love, but it would become a tragic story. Do we need another tragic story? We've had several already in the last couple of years. Do we need that? I actually would like to have one that's unencumbered for them.
I agree. It's just, I feel like GH has gone too much down the tragedy path lately, where it's just like, everything just always ends. It's like, I don't know. You can still tell fun soap opera stories. Everything doesn't have to be a tragedy. There can be other ways to tell a story that don't have to be all doom and gloom. And I feel too often that GH just goes that they throw up unnecessary obstacles, and they go more tragic than needed sometimes. Where it's just like, let's have people have also fun. Life is also fun too, guys. It's not always doom and gloom.
Right, because I love Finn and Tracy. They're hilarious together. They're friends. And everybody's being nice to each other. Like, everybody's being nice to each other because there really is no animosity with anybody. It's just that it's the Tracy looks at Chase a little crazy, a little side eye, but her and Gregory, when she at the end, she was like, "You're very fortunate."
Yeah, it's
a soft moment there.
Yes, I don't know. There's just I want to see that more than I'd want to see even an Alexis Gregory kind of thing. And if you wanted to try to do a triangle, sure, but I just like the ALS part of it. Like, no, why?
I
Please,
know.
I would be grateful. I would not, the real, throw reality aside. Give me a scene of a doctor calling Gregory and saying, "Hold on a second, we made a horrible mistake with your test. It got confused with somebody else. You don't have ALS. It's fine. Give me that scene."
I'll
Uh,
take it.
yes, just so we can move past that and just go back to something that'd be much more interesting to watch.
Yes. Albert Bostic's in the chat. I did his show last night. Go over to Albert Bostic. He interviewed me last
Oh,
night. Go check out. We had a great time. He was like, Frank, I know he's your work husband, but he had me to himself last night. So just spreading me around, folks, just spreading me around. But do check out that one. I don't think it's really so now. Some folks don't think it's ALS. Maybe it's something else, or just beside. Anyway, Frank and I open to anything. Frank and I open
yes.
to whatever they could do to get rid of this part. I'd be happy.
Yeah, because I would ask anybody, would anybody rather see an ALS storyline with Gregory and watching him diminish? Or would you rather watch a relationship story and all the craziness that could happen between Gregory and Tracy?
I agree. Well, also he said threesome, three-way,
Yeah.
threesome with Alexis.
Yeah.
Alexis and Tracy already have animosity, so it's like that. I'll rather see that.
Yeah.
I'd
For
rather
sure.
see that.
It's like what I'm excited about is like, Jane Elliott is like sticking around, which I'm loving. Keep her around as long as she's interested in staying.
Yes, I agree. And you still have the Nettie stuff going on, so that's off to the side. So there's still that. We didn't have it this week. We got a break this week, but as I'm saying, that's still out there too, Frank. Eddie Main is out there, and Drew brought the guitar for him. So
That little olive branch.
Now a storyline, another one that bugs the F out of me. Folks at home, get ready. Sam and Carly. Sam goes in, guns blazing, but quickly softens. Made no sense. And now it's propping up Carly.
That seemed to me crazy. That was like a 180 that happened all off camera with Sam. When she comes in, like, oh, but then I thought about it some more, and it's like, all right, you're right. Like, what? Exactly.
Like, what? And it's like, you went in there. I mean, it was super emotional because they are friends. They have the Jason connection and everything. It felt like, good, two friends are fighting over something that, because like I said, this is her daughter. She's losing out. And they told me that, but now you're right, cat lady, they punked out. It was the Corinthos coffee. You know what it was, kids? I'll tell you right now what it was. Shit. I'll turn it up. It was the moss. Moss, kids. The moss has made their brains turn to mush. Like, excuse me. So then the rest of the conversation is she going, well, this is your house. You can't get rid of your house. And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And we're friends. And it wasn't always like that. I'm like, what?
This insane attachment that Carl Sam was trying to tell Carl, like, Donna's going to be attached to this house. It means so much to her. She's what, 5, 6?
Right.
My goodness, like I've moved. Everybody's moved many times. When you're a kid to different houses, that's just what happens. And everybody's like, oh, but my house, especially when you're that young.
Right.
Oh my God. So for that whole scene was ridiculous to me.
I mean,
like, there's no way. Why is the scene even happening?
Everyone in the chat kind of agrees with us. Yeah, I agree. It was just odd that she so quickly did the 180. It was just like, she came in guns blazing, and all of a sudden, for weeks, she's like railing at it. I was like, I'm like, we're fighting together. And
yes.
it started out good. It's like, woo, it started good. And then, so Carly could have had this conversation with anybody else. If you want to make it Sam, fine. You have to make it Sam. It could be somebody else. And you could have kept Sam and Carly a little bit at odds.
I don't know whether the show is just like, hey, you know what, you guys, you still have to be rooting for Carly. You know, see the other characters are excusing. You know, they say it's fine. So viewers, you should think it's fine. It's also like we've talked about before. It's like at the core of this, though, Carly did do something wrong. She did. So
good. That's the thing. She did do something wrong, but they're really setting us up, Frank, for this whole new Carly.
But you already, you know where this is all going, where it's going to be this new Carly, sure. But then at some point, it's finally going to get revealed that Nina was the one that ratted them out to the FCC or SEC. And then everything's gonna Nina's life's gonna crumble. Carly's gonna get like the righteous revenge that she deserves, but it's all gonna be like sidestepped. It's like, but at the core of it, though, sure, Nina did this out of pettiness, but you did do the crime. You did do it. And
well, you know they're setting it up, Frank, because also a development this week that maybe you want to gag. I should let my mother in. I should let her in.
Yeah.
Carly, Nina, your daughter would like to see you. Nice to meet you.
That.
And she goes in. I'm like, they're setting Nina up for the biggest fall of her life.
Oh yeah.
This storyline makes no sense either. Makes all of a sudden 180 again. A 180.
You know, there are times when a soap opera can naturally build up a connection, and so when things go wrong, you genuinely like, oh, this was terrible. And then there are times where like the soaps like that hang a little light on it, just to remind you guys, and they go really heavy-handed with like, oh no, we got to really build this connection up, and you just see the plot happening behind the scenes of them setting all these scenes up and where the storyline's going, and you're like, ugh, when you already know what the ending is going to be, it's so frustrating that you've got to just wait at the pace that GH decides to take you there. And it's going to be drawn out, I'm sure, for longer than we want.
Remember, the wedding's in the fall. Ready, Frank? In the fall.
Yeah.
So right now it's July, and we're in early July. Let's sit back and think, let me look at my armchair down. Look at my arms down. Okay, so July, August, and September are still summer. Then we go into fall. It could be October. Frank, it could be November.
Yeah, you know it's going to be the latest possible.
Of course.
So I bet you we're looking close to Thanksgiving time for this wedding.
I can see that because they have to establish Nina. I'm already predicting, folks. This is lazy writing, so I'm going to predict this already. Nina and what the fucking name is, and Willow will become close.
Yes. So the betrayal is that much richer when
exactly. They're gonna become close. Nina and Eddie, Eddie's gonna be still Eddie. So he'll be fine. So her secret's still safe. That's it. I mean, she's gonna try to coast her way into the fall, and she'll be zippy doo-dah and think everything's great. And it's all fall apart.
Yeah, but it's also at some point, it's like I have zero empathy for Nina now, but even less so when it all comes out. When at least Ava, the one who knows all the real deal, was like telling her this is wrong. Like you can't expect this to last forever, and also the fact that her secret that she kept with Sonny and while at Hudson Falls, when that all blew up and her life crumbled to ruins, you would think like having that just one time in your life crumbling to ruins, you being taken to court over all this, would be enough that if you ever got in a situation where you felt like you were holding a secret that could ever blow back on you, oh man, I would not be doing that. I would be secrets out, guys. I got to be open and honest because I cannot go through that again.
So, folks, as you know, we have 54 people watching. Please hit the like button. Thank you. The writer's strike is still going. Week 11 begins tomorrow. SAG-AFTRA has till Wednesday, Frank, And if they don't come to an agreement, they'll be going on strike. We already know that they call them FI-Core writers are now writing the soaps. So we're going to see how their writing is going to affect the story. Like, do they follow? Is there a blueprint for that? I don't know. So I don't know. The things there a blueprint for them. They follow it. Will their writing be vastly different? Will it be better? Will it be worse? I have no idea, Frank. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm sure the producers aren't going to be wanting to keep like storylines just dangling,
right?
Until it's like I feel like you got to keep things moving. You can't just keep putting things in kind of stasis until the strike is over and the writers do come back to the show.
So that nurse was here before.
Yeah, that was the one that was talking to Willow, and she was
yes.
getting her immunity system blown apart.
Yeah, so she's back.
Oh, oh, like why did we need that character so badly? It couldn't have been PJ. It couldn't have been Elizabeth. It couldn't have been anybody else. Any other kind of hospital related character. Just this random nurse is really like overstepping our personal boundaries. Nurse.
Yeah.
You were a nurse. You, I'm sure, got all up in people's, family business, and like you really told them, what's what.
No, I didn't do that. I held a healthy distance, had a good bedside manner.
Hello.
Just like life today. Yes. No, it's crazy. It's just too much. But she's somebody who's on before. That's why I kept showing her because she was on before.
But this time without the mask on.
Mask on this time. That's right.
So show that face.
So Willow's going home. We'll be around certain people in her bubble. We had to deal with that. So everyone's like, whatever. So there's that going on. What's next? What am I missing? What's next? What am I missing?
We've got.
Wait, hello. I'm sitting there missing one of the big things that went on. Everyone is pissed in real life, which you should be, because that's part of the character. This one actually makes Gladys slide over to actually villain status, I think, now, because I had a feeling it was her. Because when she was like, but when she looked at that psychiatrist, they had to give each other that look. And I was like, something's going on. And so then, she went in to have her meeting. Why do you think you're better? What's going on? Blah, blah. Here's some pills. I mean, if you don't want to take them, I'll take them. I mean, I'll just take them from you. But but they should be okay with their medication. Should be. It should be. So Sasha's gonna get hooked on pills.
This to me is like I mean, for Gladys, I mean, who came on and claimed that Brenda was dead when she first came on, so she could get all the benefits and stuff. So certainly this is not out of step with something that Gladys had done in her past. She's been around since then, and it has been kind of her kind of selfish, greedy self when she's Canby, but she hasn't done. That was all kind of mentioned. That stuff that happened before we actually saw her on the show, but we know it's something that is not completely out of character for her. So for her to pull an act like this, okay, it's not great for the storyline. I really don't relish seeing Sasha put through this again, but I also don't understand what this doctor gets out of it, because the way the scene was set up was that the doctor's like, oh, there's something that you could do for me. Like, what's the doctor getting out of this? Because it seems like the pills are more to help Gladys out of the situation. What's the doctor getting out of this?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's making Gladys, from that kind of quirky character who's a little too much, I think now she's crossed over to villainy, so to speak. It's like just easily crossed over. Because her talking to Sonny, and yeah, she has a problem with gambling and stuff. That's one thing, but now she's resorting to drugging her daughter-in-law, who's an addict. That's so far.
Yeah, I mean, this one, it's tough. It's tough to see how they kind of bring Gladys back from this. I mean, unless she plays a hand in saving Sasha, then maybe that you write a little bit of redemption into her. It's like you got Sasha in this mess, but you stepped up when it counted and you got her out of it. So maybe that happens. But as of right now, yeah. And it's just like, again, when we're talking about the tragedy of GH, with sometimes the writers go too much into that. Like Sasha has just been a dumping ground for tragedy.
Yes.
And it has just been like, come on, guys, there's other stuff that can happen to this woman. And if you want to do tragedy, give us a little bit of like fun and light for a while before you pull that again. This has just been nonstop tragedy, tragedy, tragedy.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And sometimes it's a little too much.
Yeah.
I know she's been pregnant in real life several times. But there's other things you could write for her that wouldn't be this. Because she was actually winning a while back. She was feeling good. She's winning. Now more tragedy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she's going to be taking a break on the show in real life so she can do maternity leave, be with her child. So they've got to write her out. But it's like, is this a way? Like she ends up back in like rehab somewhere, or she's off, shady oak for 60 days, whatever it is.
Cliff, where if I should have, I don't know what it is. Also Pine Valley. I don't know. Yes. And so they'll need to write for Sasha, actually. They don't know what to do. I know. So it's kind of like it's just a problem. She's a great actress. She can do it, but I don't want to see her go through more stuff. But that's bad. So I don't know.
I would rather see, even though I'm not a huge fan of Cody, at least the stuff they were doing with Sasha was at least better for that character than it was anything that was going on with Britt. So I would rather let me see some of that storyline develop. Let me see, Cody and Sasha get into adventures or whatever kind of wacky hijinks that this couple could possibly get into.
Well, here's also a problem. I have a chip for this.
Oh, yes. What flavor, James? Is it a Cool Ranch?
No, actually, the regular Dorito. Not so. Okay. You mentioned his name. You've invoked him. How many times are we going to have this conversation between Cody and Dante, Cody and Matt? They had Scotty this time involved. Yeah, he got to sign that thing by going, but he said they may look into his past or look into his birthright or whatever. I'm like, isn't that dangerous for him?
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, this is like one of those things that has just been dangling for so long. And it's also like, why? Like, I don't need that element of the storyline. Like, give me a Mac and Cody trying to figure out, like, holy cow, like Cody coming to Mac right now and saying, I lied to you the first time because I was I was more focused on the money. And now I'm thinking like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that. You are my dad. And seeing how Mac handles this and seeing this kind of relationship kind of grow. I don't need the extra element of this necklace and, the Leopold connection and using that as some kind of reason to get this thing out in the open. Like, we don't need, that's too much.
I feel like you're right about that. I feel like there should be some organization in the cleanup in the storylines. There's so many in some cases they have things just hanging out there. You're like, let's close that off. And move on. Something just go forward. We don't need the Leopold stuff anymore. No one's been time periods really on anymore. It's all just like nobody cares. Let's just start from here.
Right.
You're not fully invested going back in time. So there've been no Dominique flashbacks, none of that stuff. No Captain Bell flashbacks or anything. So you're not invested in all that. Now we're done. We know he's Mac's son. Let's go from that point. He's looking for love. He's looking for acceptance. He's having a hard time with it. I don't mind him and Dante as friends. I don't mind that. But it's not exciting.
Yeah. And I feel like, they keep teasing about this, which, this whole Dante and Cody thing that happened back in summer camp days. Like, oh, it's a big thing. He kind of kept the secret. Like, also at this point, I don't care about it anymore. I don't care. Yeah. So don't in 4 months kind of try to trot this out again and expect me to care when it happens. I won't.
Which they will.
Right.
Which they will.
But that's like that typical GH move is they dangle like some kind of hidden secret or some unknown thing, which kind of piques your interest at the moment. And then they wait so long to do anything with it. By the time they do, I was like, I don't care anymore. I don't care. You've diminished my interest in it by taking so long to get to it.
I agree. Really good chat. I agree. It's just, there's so much more story that can be mined if we just go forward.
Yes.
Like I said, make them a Scorpio. Let's go from there. He still has the old Scorpio tendencies. That could be fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I don't know, for me, it's like follow the fun. Like, as we do like an improv. It's like follow the fun. What is the most playful? What is the most fun thing? And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's always fun and hijinks. Tragedy can also be the fun of it as well. And you want to see the tragedy continue for this. Great. But whatever the fun thing, quote unquote, is of this storyline, you're in, like, follow that. There's really no reason to throw on all these other obstacles sometimes because it's too much.
It's too much. We don't need them. But yeah, there's parts of Cody I don't mind anymore. I like it with Leo. I like it with the horse stable. Everybody's kind of warming up to him. I don't mind him so much, but it's just now it's the actual storyline going. Do we need all of this? Just make him Mac's son, and let's go from there.
Yeah, and the same thing too. Like another thing is like it's always about like resting the game, whatever the game of the scene is in improv. At some point, you can't just keep hitting it because then the audience is gonna be like, well, this is no longer entertaining to watch. You got to let it rest and then come back to it in a way that surprises the audience. And they're like, oh my God, that's right. They went back to this. It's great. It's the same thing like with all the tragedy in Sasha. You just can't keep doing the tragedy. At some point, you gotta rest it for a little while. You gotta let us, have some highlights. And then when the tragedy comes out, like, whoa, that is tragic.
Here's the thing. Dante has had this secret from Mac. So that's going to affect their relationship.
Yeah. But, I feel like too much, like GH gets by way too much as it passes. Like, it wasn't my story to tell. If I hear that line thrown out again, GH, no more passes on that. It's like,
I agree.
Oh, it wasn't my story to tell. So that's why I didn't say a thing.
How long do you know? I just found out like 5 weeks ago.
Yeah. yeah. I've known for a year, but it wasn't my story to tell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if in real life, if somebody said that to you, like, oh, but it wasn't my story to tell. How forgiving of you would you be of that person? No.
I probably would have slapped them. Yeah, so exactly.
Like, what about us? Do we have no connection as well? Are we not friends for this long length of time? What about considering our friendship?
But I can predict that's what's going to happen.
Too.
I'm predicting this next storyline is going to die. I have a feeling we're going to find out he's not really live told. It's going to all come out. All because of Scott's greed.
I mean, we got to have Kintrana around for some reason.
There'll be something to break up Sam and Dante. Oh, they've kept a secret. Was she be mad?
Yeah, but it's also like, I don't know, like a secret since he was a kid. And I mean, they certainly haven't played Dante up as like being conflicted about anything. So I don't know. And also, I'm not a huge fan of Sam at all. So I don't need to see her in any relationships. But if she's got to be in a relationship, it may as well be with Dante. I don't know. Like I have zero interest in watching scenes of them together. I have even less interest in watching scenes of them kind of falling apart.
You know those scenes I have less interest in?
What's that?
The new Davis girls.
Oh. Is it just because of the recast?
Yes. And the writing.
Yeah, it's just like, well, I feel like when you see baby James come in and tell Mac that it's like, don't you understand what the private and private eye means? For like a little kid to easily grasp that fact, to have Christina written in a way where when she interrupted Spinelli and Sam's Metrocourt kind of sting that they were doing on Gladys, because she couldn't understand that, hey, if Sam's working, that means she's working. So get out of the way. You don't need to know what's happening. It's none of your business. It's private. It's private.
Right.
but instead we get terrible scenes with Christina written like that, which like it just like resets that character. It's like, please. And the recasting of the characters does no favor to the storyline either.
And let's mention Christina for a second. On Friday's episode of Thursday episode, she mentions the LGBTQIA plus community in her talking about the center. So is she queer or is she not? I'm not even sure anymore, right? They mentioned that. I go, okay, that's kind of cool. She's talking about that. And one day she's like, thinking about her business, and they keep building this up on her business. That's great. But are they going to try to put her with Dex? Are they going to keep her with a woman? Like, I'm just like, the character Christina, no matter who plays it, they have not written her well in years.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't even know to get excited about that. And this new Molly's not working for me, sorry. And again, her and TJ, we always say this, we can't even get invested in them because they were hardly on for the last 10 years. And it was so predictable. I got it. I'll be their surrogate.
That's what kills me about GH. It's like the minute that this became an issue, you knew where the storyline was going. And it took them this long to get there. It's like, I don't know. It's frustrating to watch a show where you're like, I didn't know Christina's going to be the surrogate. And that's going to be the big thing. Can this woman that's, has been flaky and is just, hard to commit and all this stuff, can she now with the most precious thing ever, protect it? You just see where all those scenes are. You already see them playing out in your head. And it took the show, 2 months or so, 3 months to get there. And you're just like, oh, okay.
I have zero interest in the story. I'm not invested at all. Christina's bye. Okay, well, bye-bye. I have no interest in her, that character. They don't know how to write. They don't know how to write. I'm like, I can't get it. I want to get invested, but I just can't. And any of those characters, Sam has been on the longest. I enjoyed her conversation with Curtis, though. They are friends. That's like, okay, there's something they're doing there. But again, we can't invest in her either. Like, it's like, those 4 Davis girls really have no story.
No, that's true.
Let's do the story. What's Alexa's story?
Yeah, well, and just see like Christina pushing Molly, and then it's just Sam and Alexis like going, what is she doing? Why is she, why is Christina pushing her so much? Ugh, that's the most that they get in those scenes.
I mean, all 4 of them really have no major story.
No, and there are storylines that exist for Christina and Molly to write more to them, but the show never really wanted to pursue that in any way, shape, or form. I mean, even the Dawn of Day, which started off as like a Christina kind of storyline, quickly segued into being a Stam storyline.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And Molly is just, now that she's of age to be kind of involved in stuff, especially as an ADA,
right?
Rarely do you see her involved in anything.
No.
So I mean, and again, I guess it's a case of like too many characters and not enough story space. But it's also
right.
It's also tough because of this particular cross section that we're seeing of Port Charles is Molly is aware of or is connected to lots of those people. So she would have to end up recusing herself lots of times from court cases anyway. So it's also like, well, maybe being ADA in this city is not the best move for you.
Right. Daryl, I agree with you. Christina will want to keep the baby. Because Christina is selfish sometimes. That makes sense.
Yeah, but it's also like, do we care?
I don't.
We don't know. We don't see Christina enough to really get invested in her character. We just know the broad strokes.
Right. So, folks, what we're saying is, they all have storyline potential. We'd love to see them more. I mean, no. I just don't. They don't write for them. I mean, it's like, no, we ain't making this shit. We ain't making this shit up. They ain't writing. So they've had Sam on a little more. and knew Molly a little more. But yeah, I think this is going to be new Molly because Homegirl has some problems right now.
Yeah, it feels like I keep waiting for some announcement to be made that should be stepping away from the show for
Right.
more than just a while to sort out these issues because they seem pretty serious.
They do seem serious. So shout out to Haley Poulos. Yikes. No, I just, and you're right. There are so many people who there was a scene, I don't know if you saw it, when Brooklyn comes in MetroCorp and she's in the background and she stops and says hi to Sonny and Dante and then walks over. Like they always show her and Uncle Sonny. They barely show Christina with Sonny or Molly with her Uncle Sonny.
Yeah. When was the last time you saw like a Molly and Sonny scene?
I can't think, folks. You think of one? I can't think of one.
I mean, Christina and Sonny scenes are good though.
They're always good.
Yeah. I mean, we have not seen a Sonny and new Christina scene.
No, we haven't.
But yeah, but when we've seen old Christina and Sonny, great scenes, always great scenes.
Yeah, so again, he showed them. Okay, enough of them. We're missing somebody else. I didn't write it down. Somebody else. We have one other person we've been missing. We didn't talk about. Was that it?
I mean, well, we have. No, that happened last week. The fight between Dex and
but yeah. I think literally, I think that was it. I think it's everything. Anybody in chat? Did we miss anything? I think we caught everybody. Because Cyrus came on last. The Cyrus and Drew scene. I guess was that last week or this week where he goes into prison?
Oh yeah, that was Monday. He showed up. And Drew and Cyrus gave him a shiv. Like what?
There you have it.
And Drew, way to really. How much more could Cyrus have just he might as well just have told you there was a shiv in there, because he kept on saying there's something really important in this book. I mean, really.
Yeah, more. You'll want this book.
Oh.
This week? Was she on this week? Really? I don't remember what she did. What did she do?
Who?
Exactly. Esme.
I mean, she was probably in a Spencer scene and complaining about Spencer's you can't be injured. You've got to take care of baby Ace too.
Right.
Would you want to take these classes with me about parenting? Oh, great.
I'm going to look for those. Karen Matheson is filming Hallmark movies right now. So he actually is filming some stuff right now. So he'll be gone for a bit.
Yeah.
In the Bible, that's right. I mean, if Homeboy could have shoved it in his face, take the book. You want the book? Take the book. And he's basically I was like, come on, Drew, read the cue. He's trying to get a book for a reason. You're a Cyrus or no, you're the one who he knows what he done did. He's like, yeah, I did all that, but he's like, take the book.
Yeah, I don't know what if anything, they're going to do, how much they have set up before Cameron went off to start going and shooting this stuff. So I have no idea
either.
But clearly, I mean, he's going to be gone for 3 years at least for now. I'm sure there's going to be some get out of jail early card.
Of course.
Whatever it's going to be, I just hope it's interesting. Please.
Everybody's agreeing with us. We're grateful for this thing thank you for the happy faces. We're all over. They didn't write you correctly anyway, so I'm just kind of great. I don't, unless I see everyone so they can figure out how to write him. I don't need to see him. Spoilers. Okay.
The hardest part too is it's just the lack of Monica. Monica's absence in this whole thing of Drew going to prison and him sacrificing himself. I feel like I needed a Monica and Drew scene.
I did too.
Because I don't think Monica would in no way have said 30-year life away for 3 years. She would not been on board.
For Carly, she never would.
No.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think she's ever met Cyrus before, Mike. I mean, I always forget there's some characters who don't really ever interact with each other. There's a few that never really interact. So when they do meet each other, they go, oh, they ever met each other. Okay, got it. There's a few. There's a few that don't meet up. They meet up at all. I like Drew and Carly. Okay. Everybody's Drew sucks, right? This could be a Drew reset. There's that too. Do you think they Carly keep her legs closed for 3 years? Go on, Susan. I don't know, girl. I know who else on the canvas for. Heard Eddie Manning. You don't know who's going to be. How did Drew not know Cyrus? And I think the storylines really never really crossed. I really do think they never. I just don't think they ever crossed.
It's like he knows of him, but he doesn't know him.
Yeah, I almost feel like that's fine. Do you know if Drew has his memories back? I have no idea.
I don't think he has his memories back. I mean, he's got Jason's memories, and then he's got all of Jason's memories and the memories that he's had since he's been back in Port Charles.
That's it. That's it, kids. That's all he remembers, I think. I don't think anything else. So I'm looking at the chat. Okay, that's it. That's it, everybody. We're done. Okay, that's it. That's everybody on Port Charles.
We made it. Holy cow!
Well, I know right now they're on hiatus. All the shows are on hiatus. I think like 2 or 3 weeks off. They go black. They go black. They go dark. Which is what I meant to say. They go dark. And then they come back. I have no idea. Well, the writer's strike. I have no idea what effect it will have. The SAG-AFTRA is everybody basically who works on the show. Basically, most actors on the show, they're part of SAG-AFTRA. Most of them. So I have no idea what that means for them, Frank. I have no idea. If I ask me, I have no idea. I don't know. We're gonna find. We'll find out. We surely will at midnight on July 12th. Well,
that's true.
Midnight, July 13th, I guess. We will know. We'll let you know also what's going on there. Well, right now they're not writing anything because they wonder when they're going to write Bobby's X6 story arc. I mean, they haven't got there yet. They just haven't got there yet. So I don't know. Oh, Drew died September 2019. Curtis was on 2020, 2021. Drew returned 2021. There you go. No, the soap actors are included with SAG. They aren't. Okay, they have their own contract, I think. Okay, so 2024. I think I did hear that. But either way, the writers are something different, so they won't be the regular writers. Because I talked to one of the writers who said I haven't written for a month, for a month and a half. My last episode aired. She said her last episode aired a while back, so she's ready to come back to her show. She's ready to come back to her show. I won't say the name, but she's ready to come back to her show. But folks, thanks for hanging out with us. Tell folks about our show. Tell folks, everybody, that we are a hit show. We've been doing this for a long time. In September, it'll be 8 years. Me and Frank will do something. A shout out to Carla Renata the other night, who came through my IG Live.
Oh.
I said, you missed Carla Renata, the Curry Critic. I couldn't believe it. And she says hi to everybody. And so we love her. We said hello to her. I haven't talked to Lucretia in a while or Nadine, so I got to check on them and see how they're doing. But who knows? They may come back for anniversary, as we always do. We always invite them. We'll see what they're all doing. But Frank and I will be here for sure for that.
No place else I'd rather be.
That's right. And next Sunday, we're doing a special Bold and Beautiful. So make sure it's been asked. So that'll be at 10 a.m., then Y&R at 11 a.m., and then us at 1, bringing up the reader.
Ooh. A special Bold and Beautiful. Interesting. Yeah,
oh, the show's cuckoo crazy. We have the fans asked for it, so we're doing a special one.
Look at you. Despite all the stuff, your feelings about the show, when the fans demand, you're there for them. I try, kids. If you're new, thanks for finding us. Make sure you like the channel while you're here. We're on Facebook at GHB Spotlight. And it's also, let's see, 50 people watching. Hi, 50 people. Thank you. Thanks for all the super chats everybody did earlier today. Thanks for all the little hearts. And I see them. That's so weird seeing them on YouTube. The hearts and everything. I see them. I don't know how you do that. I don't see the buttons for me. But I like it. It's cute. Would you want to just be loving yourself, James? You just be giving yourself hearts? I do it every